You're listening to the Fox Den Sports Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Todd and his three sons, Kellen, Garrett, and Gannon.
We'd like to welcome back all of our friends, family, and foes to the Fox Den Sports Podcast. And along with my two oldest sons, Kellen and Garrett, we are the Fox Den Sports Podcast. And once again, we have Diego Zavarse. Couldn't get it out, man. Zavarse, the other.
You just wanted to say Fox so bad.
I did. It came so close. We're the Fox Den Sports Podcast, and we're at episode 97. This is a good one. This is going to be a special one here tonight. But first off, what player do you think of that wore the jersey 97?
Think of old Cornelius Bennett. Spent most of his time with the Buffalo Bills. Played a little on the Colts and the Falcons. He's a pro football career. Cornelius Bennett was selected for 5 NFL Pro Bowls, 1 NFL All-Pro, and the Hall of Fame All 1990s team. He also earned a spot on the 1987 NFL All-Rookie team. Just a really dominant career. Almost 1,200 tackles, 71.5 sacks, 31 fumbles, 27 fumble recoveries, 7 interceptions and a touchdown. It doesn't get better than Cornelius Bennett.
Who did he get drafted by? Do you know?
I'd say the Indianapolis Colts.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
and that's kind of Colts. They couldn't agree to
legend.
terms, so they made that big old trade, 3-way team between. I know Eric Dickerson went to the Colts, Greg Bell went to the Rams, and Cornelius went to the Buffalo Bills.
It's good times. I remember the day fondly.
I bet you did.
I'm going to go with Tommy Harris, Oklahoma defensive line, 2-time Big 12, 2-time All-American, one of the bigger defensive players in OU history. Not that there's been a good amount. It's been a while, but
yeah.
That's who I was thinking. I just didn't want to take him from you.
Thanks, man.
I'm going to go with Cameron Hayward from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's got drafted in 2011, 31st pick overall. I've been watching him play, since I've been a fan of the NFL, and he looks like he's a dominant defensive lineman. They're definitely missing him right now. I don't know if he played yesterday, actually, but I know he missed last week. But he's somebody you don't want to mess with for sure. He's a big boy, and he's a good defensive lineman, and if I was on the offense, I'd be afraid of him too.
He's been there for forever, too.
Yes.
Yeah, 2011, man. That's a long time.
Well, I think of Leroy Glover, who he played for the Saints. I know he played for Dallas, and he played for the Rams. That's who I think of. He was pretty dominant at the defensive tackle position for Dallas for, I think it was 4 or 5 years. I know he played, I think, the majority of his career maybe with New Orleans. But that's who I think of. I know we signed him at some point in the early 2000s to a contract. So that's who I always think of. Well, the second guy I think of. Kellen took my first one. But hey, that's it. That's who I got. All right, big week. What were you going to say, Diego? I can see you.
Was he a Hall of Famer?
Cornelius? Oh, yeah.
No, the other guy, the one you picked.
I don't think so, no. So, Garrett, you're wrong.
Interesting pick.
Interesting.
I'm good. I'm happy for you, Dad, going into the books, trying to find someone that wasn't a Hall of Famer.
Kelly Gregg, played for OU. Played at Edmond, was it Edmond Memorial, maybe? A defensive tackle as well, played for Baltimore's. He's on the franchise now. He was 97 as well. All right. Big week. OU Texas. This is the week, man. This is the week we all look forward to. Exactly. Right here. All the Longhorn fans that are sending me emails, or sending us emails, I should say. But first, I guess let's talk about the Iowa State game. I don't say briefly, but let's talk a little bit about that game first, and then we'll move on. So Initial thoughts. I know I predicted looked that up a little while ago. I predicted a 26-16 score. Diego, you were 40 something to 13. And then Kellen, I think you were 30, I don't know, 38 or something like that to 16. But anyway, I can't remember, Garrett. I couldn't remember yours. Sorry.
I'm pretty sure I was pretty close, honestly.
You
I
must
think I
have
said,
done
like-
first, because whenever we did it, I was looking at it, and anyway, yeah, is what it is. Go ahead. What were your all's initial thoughts?
Well, initially it was great after the pick six. And
Oh, yeah.
then,
Yeah, I was like, oh
yeah. And then the next two Iowa State drives, not so much. But yeah, I mean, they beat us essentially on the same play, back-to-back drives for just one. It was a deep post, one was just a slant route. Our guys got a little too aggressive,
Way too aggressive.
thinking the ball was going to just come right to them, which I don't understand. That's probably the fourth or fifth time that's happened this year that we've let up a big play just because our guys think the ball is just going to sail right to them. Like, you've got to go get that ball. But I mean, defense played great in the second half, obviously.
They played really
dominant, really. I mean, I will say there was a couple of plays. They had another slant that Stutzman tried to jump in front of, also missed it. The guy just stumbled as he caught it. If he would have caught it clean, he would have been gone again. So that would have been another touchdown.
Did he catch it or did he drop it?
He caught that one. And then there was
Okay.
another one
Yeah.
that the receiver dropped that would have
Dropped.
also been a touchdown.
Yeah.
On this, again, all of these are like post/slants. So we've got to figure that out. I know Venables said that that's something that everyone was always out of an assignment. So like they should have had it covered, obviously, but somebody just missed the assignment.
Those are some tough routes to cover as well. So I'm not surprised those are the ones that keep beating them. I mean, there's not really a right way to guard a slant route or to defend a slant route or a post route. I mean, but I agree with what Gary says. I think some of those secondary guys are just being a little jumpy, want to make the play. But if they just stay in their position, they're gonna tip it, they're gonna pick it off, or they're gonna just be there and not let them catch it. But yeah, second half. I mean, after that first quarter, I was like, well, after the first pick six, I was like, all right, we're here. This is going to be a blowout. And then Iowa State started playing good. And I was like, all right, we're back to OU's defense not being actually good. And then they shut me up the second half. I was like, okay, all right, our defense is good. That Peyton Bowen punt block was awesome. Trace
really
Ford, if he
That guy is
have hands.
special, dude.
For sure.
But you can just tell he's everywhere on the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Everywhere, dude.
In every game, he makes some sort of impact play. Like,
And this Saturday, he's getting a pick. I know that, but very proud of how our defense played. I liked our offense as well, especially the second half too. Still going back, like questions about the run game. Still, like I don't know.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I don't know, and that is the only thing that's holding me back from. I guess we'll get into it here later, but about this weekend. But outcome great. They covered, won by 30. So I think I was cool with the outcome.
I mean, it was the first half was a little, well, not even the first half, just first little bit after that pick. It's like, holy, I mean, again, I'm like, we're going to pull this off, but like, just for confidence, let's go ahead and we need to do something special here. And then end up blowing it up. Defense, of course, played great second half, only put up 10 points second half, but because wasn't it 40-20 at half? So we
only scored 10, but
so yeah,
we
but
definitely
I mean,
draining the clock early.
yeah, I mean, it's no reason to do anything too wild, like save every little trick. Don't do anything crazy for Texas to watch on film. Just burn clock in the second half. Get ready. But we won another game. Big 30-point margin, so can't be mad. And I think like that Dylan Gabriel pick, you never like to see picks, but it looked like the receiver ran the wrong route. So I mean, if you're gonna throw a pick, you'd almost rather it be that rather than a bad throw, because it's like, all right, just get the guys on the same page, and we'll be all right.
I don't know if they said anything or saw anything different on like the TV coverage, but like in person though, like he threw the ball where Farouk was, so they obviously knew he was going to be there. Gabriel just for whatever reason didn't see the guy standing right in front of him.
Yeah,
That's my only thing. Like whenever he turned that corner, it's almost like he knew no matter what he was throwing that ball, and he gave Farouk no chance on that.
It just, to me, the way they were talking on TV, at least, it looked like he was supposed to run a shorter route. He wasn't supposed to be behind the defender. But who knows? I mean,
fair.
Yeah, I thought Farouk could have tried to, at least
play
pass
the ball.
interference, something.
Yeah.
But what, that's his second pick of the year? Like,
first one was go
ahead, Kellen. I know you're talking,
and...
but he's had, and it's football. There were some tips, that one that tipped around, like bounced around like 3 or 4 guys. I think it was the same guys, but still bounced around it felt like forever. I'm like, oh my goodness, that's lucky. And he's had some, but that's just the way it is. That happens. Luck gets you through some things.
But OU last year I think we still would have won this game, but like OU last year wouldn't have separated as big as they did this week.
Well, yeah, last year it'd have been probably like 50-44 or something like that. We were giving up a lot of points.
OU last year we wouldn't be 5-0 right now either.
No chance. Yeah, we would have gotten SMU's the offense would have smoked us.
We would have lost the SMU game, and we probably would have lost that Cincinnati game because our defense was not. It wouldn't be our defense last year wouldn't have been able to stop Emory Jones's run game. So
my biggest thing is still just the red zone offense. I know we just struggle so much in that department. That's just where you have to. You can't assume gimmies, but like you've got to get at least 70% of those things in the end zone, and we just can't seem to figure it out. It's like,
and I think, the
you gotta be able to run
the
offensive line can't get a hole big enough to get him any more than 2 to 3 yards.
Exactly.
Passing in that zone is obviously dangerous. There's not as much room to work with, but I for one, why not have at least a shot? Like Jaden Gibson is like 6'6". Like, go ahead and take a shot up with him. Yeah, nobody is as tall as him. 6'5".
Fader out.
So he's I don't think he's dropped one. I think every single ball thrown to him this year has been a catch, and some of those are some pretty tough catches, including the one this week where he has to make a contested catch, get drilled, and then he still ran through 2 people. So I don't know. I think that would be a great opportunity, but
how tall is Nick Anderson? Isn't he like 6'3", 6'2"?
6'4". He's a big guy too.
You can throw it up to him too, honestly. Just throw a little fader out. I understand when you're in the run zone, you don't want to throw a pick, you don't want to force a turnover, like you don't want to do anything, but like I think it just goes back to the one flaw that I can honestly say is the run game. If we could have a run game, we would be scoring in the end zone 100%. Easily. Because I just know these defensive teams are like, they can't run the ball. If we shut the run down, then all we got to worry about is their passing game.
Right. Because even that, when we do run it in within the 5-yard line or so, it's Gabriel.
Right. Like, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
So it's a lot of those read options. And if he hands it off, they're not getting in. So we'll have to be careful with that because I imagine Texas is going to have a spy on Gabriel in a lot of those. So,
yeah, Gabriel's the offense, obviously. I talked to you whenever we were at the game the other night. I said something to Callie. I'm like, he's the one who's doing all the running for any kind of positive yards at a chunk at a time. And it's good, but it's also bad. We've got to figure out somebody else. And I don't know whether or not all of a sudden against Texas, all the holes are going to get bigger or not. I don't know. I don't know whether or not if you had a Joe Mixon or a P. Ryan or I'm trying to think of one of the other guys, Rodney Anderson, one of those guys from the past, if they were on this team now, if they would get through those holes quicker or better. I don't know the answer to that, but I just know it's a combination of the line, and I think honestly it's probably a combination of the running backs that we have right now. But we've got to be able to run the football. I didn't feel like we ran it again very well. Again, we were under 4 yards a carry, and I think they were over 5 yards. Of course, they had a bunch of long runs. If you take those take those away, maybe not so much. But defense looked good. Defense, other than just giving up those huge plays, Iowa State obviously saw something, and they they exposed it. I would rather be exposed a week early than the week of. So hopefully something can get done. I think Bowman, he had a bad angle on one. The first, Key Lawrence, I think he was trying to intercept it. And then the second time it happened, I know Key Lawrence and Bowman both ran into each other, and it's just like it looked like a poor defense at that point. I think Danny Stutzman, he was being blocked incredibly. Like they had obviously a game plan to try to shut him down. We need Kanik to jump to step up on games like that, and then McCullough, is how you say his name. I say it every week. McCullough as well, both step up. It'll be interesting, but I think we started teeing off against the Iowa State quarterback. I didn't think he was that good especially when you put pressure on him. Then all of a sudden he didn't know what he was doing.
He just threw that thing.
He would just throw it, right? So I was I don't want to say I was surprised that we scored 50, but I never felt in doubt, but I was just like, oh no, I just don't want to see like a marathon, 50 to 40 game. And the defense second half showed up and did a really good job.
That's what it was for me. I knew we were going to win. I wanted our defense to still recover and show that, one, they still are doing well, and two, just keep that confidence going into next week because they're going to need everything they can.
Sure. I agree 100%. And then did you guys see that? I sent you guys the little thing of Matt Campbell walking off the field and people were yelling, saying hot seat. He yells at him. That guy is just.
Did you not? Yeah. I mean, they only said that because of what happened last week.
Yeah. He got
Did you see that? Or 2 weeks ago. Sorry. But
just ridiculous, man. Unbelievable. But it's a good win. I mean, whatever. 5-0. I'll take 5-0. Any day of the week, and just that's all you can do is play who's one team at a time. I don't think they were looking ahead. I didn't feel that at all. The running game, man, because Gabriel doesn't have the arm. It was shown that night as well. The one long pass to, was it the freshman? Who was that?
That's what I was going to say is we got Brennan Thompson back.
That's who it was. It's
exciting because he's a transfer from Texas.
That was the one when he had two guys on him and he kind of stopped and they just kept going. If they would have been paying attention more, maybe. But
he's probably one of the fastest players in the country, only because he's also one of the fastest players on the track field as well.
Yeah,
in high school, college, all that stuff. So he's got insane speed. I know someone asked Venables about him after the game, and all Venables had to say is he's fast. Like he's insanely fast. And I don't think Gabriel has had a lot of opportunity to throw the ball to him, so I don't think he really expected. Now, Gabriel's underthrown his fair share, but that guy is, again, unmatched on the speed level with anybody we have on our team. That's for sure.
Sure. And I still think Gabriel gives us the best chance to win. I mean, I know there are people probably wanting to see Jackson Arnold, but
it's too late now to start Jackson
Arnold.
Jackson Arnold, if he was starting the whole season, but you can't throw Jackson Arnold into the biggest game.
No, you're right.
Like this is going to be the biggest game of Dylan Gabriel's career.
Correct.
Like I agree 100%. You don't start a quarterback. If you have the choice, you don't choose to start him that week.
Because Gabriel's doing well. I mean, he makes a few bonehead decisions and overthrows, but there's so many quarterbacks that do that. So
I was going to say,
I want to see the running game better.
Last week, you guys were saying Heupel. I think you guys used the term gamer, like
game manager.
Heupel's a gamer. No, gamer.
Okay, yeah.
And Gabriel's not. Through 5 games in 2000, Josh Heupel had 1,520 yards, 66.5% completion percentage, 9 touchdowns, and 4 picks. Gabriel, 1,593 yards, so about 70 yards more, 75.2%, so 9% higher completion percentage, 15 touchdowns, which is 6 more, and 2 interceptions, which is 2 less. And I know the game's changed a little bit, but you can't really say that because they have pretty equal passing yards. Yeah, so they threw the ball just as much.
Gabriel's got Heupel had just a little bit more moxie than Gabriel, if you ask me. I mean, when I say gamer, I think he's just more, he's like the general than I think Gabriel is. Now, I think I'll be honest with you. I think it all changed at OU Texas that year when they were. I mean, we did well up until that, but then Texas. I looked it up. I couldn't find it, but I know Texas was favored that game, and we demolished them. I got it going on right behind me right now. And we were ranked 12th. What are we ranked this week?
Well,
Oh, what day was that game played on? Do y'all remember what in 2000?
Let me
looking
think
it up
back.
right now.
October 7th. It was October 7th.
I was one.
What's
so-
what's the date this year's game?
6th?
No, it's the 7th.
Is it?
So no, OU was ranked 10. Texas was ranked 11.
No, OU was 12. Trust me. Yeah, I know what you're doing. You're looking at a different one, but OU was 12 and Texas was 10. Even it showed on this game. I looked at another site that showed that same thing you're looking at.
Gary,
So-
I can see it on the screen right now. It says 12 by OU.
Yeah. OU was 12 and Texas was
Cannot.
10. I was like, what in the world? But anyway, no.
I was like,
Back to the gamer thing, though.
Yes,
I
yes.
still don't think Dylan Gabriel is a gamer. But if he wins this Saturday and he shows that, then he can. I will establish him as a gamer.
Right.
But when
right.
I say gamer, I'm talking about Baker Mayfield was a gamer. That dude put the team on his back and said, I got you. I'm going to go win this game. That's what I don't think Dylan Gabriel is that guy to say, I'm going to put the team on my back.
He
and win
has
this."
though.
I don't think
No,
he
already has.
But
no,
he
the
hasn't.
defense is
He
not
hasn't.
putting him on
game
their
The
back.
defense is the one that's helping us win
Right.
these
Stutzman's
games.
team.
Right.
Like,
True.
Stutzman's the
But-
gamer. Oh yeah. Stutzman's
if the
the gamer.
defense is helping us, then there's so much less pressure on a quarterback to perform.
This is Jackson Arnold's team. Let's be honest.
It's gonna
I don't
be.
disagree, but
You
offensively,
cannot tell me Dylan
yes.
Gabriel's a gamer compared to Baker Mayfield.
Well, no, but we were comparing Heupel and
Well,
Yeah, you can't tell me
still.
Josh Heupel's anything compared to Baker Mayfield.
Yeah,
dude.
Let me-
exactly.
Hold
No,
on.
I mean I didn't. I only seen Josh Heupel
Who-
highlights on YouTube.
Who saw Heupel and Gabriel? Oh, that'd be me. So just telling you.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
what
what
do you
about
have
Baker?
past sometimes? Also you.
Yeah, you're right. I
Very
don't
true.
disagree. I
Yeah,
don't
very
disagree.
true.
But
I'm just
I
saying-
would
And I'm
probably
not-
say,
Hey,
I'm not busting Gabriel's chops. I'm not. I'm just saying that this game right here, he can elevate to that kind of level. Because honestly, Heupel, that's what kind of all of a sudden that game, and then just boom. I think it was Kansas State next week, and then Nebraska, because we went boom, boom, boom. That's where it happened, man. Right there, and that's when he just. Yeah. And Gabriel has that opportunity. I'm not saying he doesn't, but right now I just don't think he's had that game defining moment, that big game just yet. And I want to see how I'm really looking forward to seeing how he performs this week.
well, yeah, I mean, last year when he played. Well, yeah, but none of the games had this magnitude.
You're
later in the
right. You're
later
right.
in the season, like they were must wins because we had such a bad record. But that's not the same as being 5-0 going into another undefeated matchup against your rival.
But that's what I'm saying though. He hasn't had an opportunity to prove himself that he's a gamer. He hasn't played
this
Correct.
is the final
This is-
boss.
like
No,
this
I'm
is this is it. He's reached it, and I agree with you. He's played great.
Yes.
If he wins Saturday, I will
Yes.
get on my knees and be like, "You are a gamer, dog," and go win a Heisman. He wins Saturday. His numbers. He's in the Heisman. Like
He's in the Heisman race for
He's
sure.
5 and
already
6
on-
every week. Yeah,
He's on there now,
already
but I'm just saying
just
he'll
on the outskirts.
elevate.
And
He's
he
only
beats the
just
number
on the
3.
outskirts.
He beats the number 3 team, Texas, who beat Alabama. And a lot of people are saying this Texas team is a national championship contender.
Yeah.
And the numbers he has, it does not lie. He can win the Heisman if he keeps OU winning. And then I'll be like, all right, dude, you're a gamer. But like, this is the biggest game of his career.
Sure. I agree 100%.
It's the chance for him to prove everybody I'm going to put the team on my back and win.
Got to
Yeah,
be
I
mistake
mean-
free, man.
As good as our defense is gonna play, he's still gonna have to score
He has to,
probably
exactly.
35 plus.
And you got to keep the
Exactly.
defense off the field as
You-
much as possible. Let them
which
come in
is
fully rested every drive.
exactly, which is scary because our
Yeah.
running game hasn't.
We can't
performed it,
run the
so
ball. That's what's
He's going to
scary.
have to play it more
That's what- yeah.
slowly, methodically, like just not. I mean, I'll take a deep shot. Don't get me wrong, but
Not against Texas. They
well,
will.
I mean,
they
mainly
they
because
will.
I'll take points when I can get points.
Yeah,
They're
no, I
wide
agree.
open.
They'll do it.
But-
but I just scared.
But I would
just-
choose a 10 play
Oh, yeah.
6-7 minutes,
Oh, yeah.
75 yards over a 2-play minute and a half, you know.
Agree.
100%.
But
I
at the
just-
same time, with how Venables and Roof and all these guys are doing the defense, I don't think fatigue's the biggest issue or that big of an issue because they are rotating
That's fair.
constantly. So the only players that really don't come out is Stutzman, Bowman, and Canick and Woody Washington. Those are about the only 4 out of the 11 that hardly ever come off the field.
Does Gentry
That whole-
Williams?
No, he'll rotate quite a bit with Dolby.
Gentry plays a
No,
lot, but
He
I
does
love
play
that
a
dude,
lot.
man.
He does play
he's
a lot.
good.
But that whole defensive
Booker T,
line,
baby.
I
the
know.
whole defensive line swapping, that safety is still swapping. Bowman does get some rest, but they do really like to keep Canick and Stutzman together because they're a great duo. I mean, they're best buddies. They roommate together, so there's no telling how much they just sit there and talk about the games afterwards, about how to feed off of each other a lot. So that's one of my favorite duos to watch on the field is just them two, just because that they are constantly practicing their work.
I will tell you, it is. I can remember when I was your all's age. Well, even really honestly before that, in the '80s, whenever Bosworth and Casillas and all those guys played, I looked forward to watching offense and defense. And it's been a while since I really looked forward to actually seeing the defense on the field, to be honest with you. And man, I'm telling you what, I really am excited with them. Now, I think this week is going to show how well we are. But I still think Venables, there's some things he's going to do differently this week as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing I've noticed that about Gabriel and Arnold both say is that Venables has the most just disguised looks and different packages on defense, so they have to be ready in practices. But also to your first point, Stutzman and Canick are going to have to play very well because Texas knows how to run the ball.
Yes, they do.
And so they are going to get to the second level. And so they have to be ready to clog the holes. And that's also on, which again, talking about Gentry Williams, he's done a great job of coming off a block off the edge to get a guy down for loss. So he's going to have a big game on that as well. But yeah, it's going to be a big dependability on our defense, on our linebackers for sure.
I just want to state to everybody listening, I do not hate Dylan Gabriel.
No, I don't either.
I believe that he can win this game.
Yes.
I just want him to prove it to me so then I can feel bad that I said that about him. That's it.
I don't hate him either. He just got to see him do well.
There's no hate at all. I think he's like the offense right now. I mean,
and
he's
improved drastically.
dispersing the ball.
Yes, he has.
But a poor guy's having to be the guy running as well, which I remember saying last year, I think we need to run him a little bit more. Now I'm like, good grief, man. We need these running backs to sit there and run the ball and take some hits off of Gabriel. Because he's fumbled against Cincinnati. Is that the only fumble he has this year?
I believe so.
I think so.
They hit the ball perfectly.
They did hit the ball perfectly. I think running backs fumbling that thing, but
so what's this game going to come down to? Like, obviously, turnovers and all that, but what are the keys to victory for Oklahoma?
Here's 3 keys of victory from Diego. The defense continuing to do what they've been doing.
Yeah.
I think if they just do what they've been doing the first 5 weeks, I think that'll help us win. I think Dylan Gabriel has to play at not necessarily play the best game of his career, but I think he needs to play I don't even know the exact
mistake free.
Not necessarily mistake free. He can throw 3 touchdowns in a pick. He did that this past week and he played good with that 1 interception, but it's like not really mistake free, but like kind of how like Gary said earlier, he just has to take his time and read his reads and make the good passes and not do too many overthrown balls or underthrown balls. Like he just needs to play his game how he does and then get away from those mistakes. I'm not necessarily saying turnovers. And then I think if we can find somewhat of a run game, I think we win this game. Like there's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
If we can find a run game on Saturday, I will tell everybody there's no way Texas beats us because I think that is our biggest flaw right now.
Is there anything out there that we could be I don't know why this would be. I think I know the answer, but we were doing something just to show them, and then all of a sudden, boom! Like, I mean, there could be some plays, obviously, that we're going to do that we wouldn't do. Like, was it 2 years ago we had that right back to Kennedy Brooks? I don't know how that was, and he faked the handoff and ran.
Direct
And
snap.
Stoops, yeah, Stoops. I mean, I think that came up during that game. But I mean, because like the line and the Texas is only averaging giving up 95 yards rushing a game right now, and it says we're averaging 157, which I don't know unless that's.
I mean, we had a couple games over 200.
Yeah, that's because
but
that was against like the high school teams or whatever we were playing. But man, we've got to figure something out.
I think my biggest key to victory is third downs on both sides of the ball.
Yeah,
Kansas going into the Texas game was the #1 ranked team in the country on third down conversions. They were 0 for 8 against Texas this past week and 0 for 2
yeah.
against.
Did their quarterback not
fourth
play
down.
all game?
Well, he didn't play, but he's only played like 2 games. So
Yeah,
they're still, with being at quarterback, they're still one of the best teams in the country at third down conversions. So Texas shut them down, the best team in the country on third downs. And then you go to the other side of the ball. Quinn Ewers is one of the worst quarterbacks on third downs with completion percentage and just picking up the first down. So if we can just keep pressure on him to force him to make a little bit quicker read than he wants to and not give him time to just kind of find that guy who leaks out, like we have to. And that's the biggest thing is I noticed is we got a lot of pressure last week against Cincinnati, but that was also with us blitzing 5 or 6 guys.
That's the problem.
This week we got some pressure on this guy, but the Iowa State offensive line is nothing special. But we still couldn't take him down. We had 1 sack, if I'm not mistaken.
End of the game.
It was PJ. Oh, then maybe 2. But I know PJ and Ethan Downs combined for 1. So we have to bring the quarterback down because we're getting there. But until we can start bringing them down, like it doesn't help. Especially Quinn. Like he's not the most mobile guy, but he'll get out of the pocket and make something happen just because of his arm talent.
Bill, you got anything?
I'd say defensive wise, we got to get some pressure on the quarterback. We got to get some sacks, but we just gotta. We gotta knock him down a couple of times. I don't want to hurt him at all, but like we want him to want to move a little quicker. We want him to be cautious of the defense coming at him, but we also got to we got to cover those holes. I'm tired of seeing like we're playing a great defense, then we give up a big 40-yard pass for no reason. So we got to be able to cover those defensively. And offensively, we need to strike first. Texas needs to be trying to catch up to us for the whole game. Obviously, you guys touched on the run game. Dylan Gabriel's got to be able to just control the game, waste clock, march down the field. Like if we got some bombs, good, but I'd love to see a good 12-minute, 80-yard drive for a touchdown. Just knock out a whole quarter and just take it slow. I think if we strike first, and they got to catch up to us. I think it could be a interesting game.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead, Garrett.
I was just going to say really quick, they're also going to go for a lot of fourth downs too, because their kickers, from what I'm seeing, is not very good. So they don't trust.
They're really good or really bad for us.
Perfect.
Yeah, they don't trust him in probably anywhere outside of the 30, I'd say. So they're going to be going for a lot, which, like Kellen said, that if we're there to play, I mean, great. But if not, then it might be tough.
Yeah. I think we got to put pressure on yours. I think he's more of a statue back there. He's more of a drop back. He's not as mobile as some of these other guys, but we got to get pressure with 4 guys. We can't sit there. We can send some blitzes from here or there, but we cannot afford to bring linebackers or defensive backs taking another guy off the middle of the field. We've got to figure out a way for those 4 guys, and Texas's offensive line's pretty good, so that's going to be interesting how that's going to work because we don't seem like we've done much of it this year. We've got to make sure we're hitting him, and he's thinking in his head, "Oh no, here they come again." We've got to. Danny Stutzman has to have the game of his career, I think, this week. And him and Kanik, I think the guy of the game, I'm saying it right now, Gentry Williams is going to be the defensive MVP of the game this game. But on offense, we've said it before. I keep saying it, run the football. That's going to be interesting. I just don't think we're going to sit there and take 10-minute drives because I just don't. I think that when they get in this rhythm, they want to go too quick and get going. But Gabriel has to be precise. We got to have minimal drops. We can't have any of those like what just happened to Iowa State, and it may happen, but I mean, because that's up in the air, Texas is going to get that ball. I'm just telling you, Texas is going to get that ball. We've got to protect Gabriel. The line's got to play incredible. So we'll see. Another thing, we got to get Anthony the ball. He only had one catch last week. We've got to get Anthony. I mean, we got Anthony, we got Farouk, we've got who'd you say, Gibson?
Anderson,
Nick Anderson. I mean, we've got some weapons.
Honestly, every time.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know who any of their weapons are this year. I know Bijan's gone and whatever. I don't know near as much, but I think we've got probably better weapons, don't you? On the offensive side of the ball?
I would say weapons wise, yeah. I mean, they have Xavier Worthy, who is good, but he has not done a whole lot this year.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything.
Their best receiver this year is a guy, I think it's like Adonai Mitchell or something like that. He came over from Georgia. It's something. I can't remember how to
Aiden Mitchell, maybe.
I've got a guy last name Worthy.
But yeah, that's
also their running back. Their running back established himself this past weekend.
Jeez.
He has.
Jonathan Brooks.
Yeah.
I will say, I think all these questions we have about this team is going to be answered after the game on Saturday.
Sure.
I think is Dylan Gabriel actually a gamer? Is he a real Heisman candidate? Is this OU team actually a national championship or college playoff contender?
Did you
is this defense actually good? Like
Venables came out and said that's not a championship team just yet.
Yeah, I mean he says it every week. Like,
so, and that's great.
Figure out. Yeah, no, I.
But he's saying there's more potential. There's more to the
season. Yeah, he's saying yet.
And really quick too, like Diego said, like Venables has been around championship teams, and not just championship teams that beat really, really good teams.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been around it. He's helped build it. And there's not a lot of coaches in college football that can say it.
Yeah.
Sark, he was with Saban.
Yeah, but he walked into it.
Saban already established that.
Yeah, exactly.
Walked
into it.
So Venables has been around and seen what it takes to get a team from one level to the next and just continuing to keep it competitive and change with the way the offenses are changing pretty much every year. So he knows what it takes.
Sure.
And I don't think he's saying that he doesn't believe that this team can't win a national championship.
They're just not right there yet.
He's just, which is good, because if you get better as the season goes on, then they might be ready in December when it's time to go play in the Big 12 championship. That might be the time where he's like, we're gonna go compete for a national championship. And I like that he's saying not yet. Like Kellen said.
Another thing we've got to do a better job of penalties. We can't, we've doubled their penalties per game, and we've got to do a better job with that this year or this game. We can't have the penalties that we've had before. Now, if we have a 15-yard penalty, and who was it that the guy from Texas Tech what's it, Pearson?
Yeah, Reggie Pearson.
Nailed that guy from, was it SMU early? But I mean, it was that, I can't remember what game that was earlier in the season. He nailed that on the sidelines. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, that happens to QN years early. Hey, send a message. I'm good with
more so with the message type of thing. But
sure. So MVP of the defense for me is going to be, I think, Gentry Williams. I think he's going to come out of nowhere. He's going to have a pick, maybe even a pick six. We'll see. Offensively, I think it's going to come down to Dylan Gabriel, and I think he's probably. I mean, that's easy to say, but I just think it's going to be Dylan Gabriel. I agree with Diego. If we can run the football, I don't know. I mean, if we run for 150, 160 yards, I mean, when I say that, not a 70-yard run and then we kind of stink the rest of the game, but I'm just saying, like, if we can, get about 4.5, 5 yards a carry, get about 160 yards, 170 yards, I think we win the game.
I'll go my MVPs. Peyton Bowen, I've said this several weeks.
This could be his coming out party.
He has been this close to an interception, and he's going to get it. And we've seen his speed before because he's saved some touchdowns, and he did it last week against Iowa State, tracking down a guy and bringing him down by the ankles. Like, Peyton Bowen is an athlete. He gets that ball, they're not bringing him down. He's going to take that to the house, and that's going to be a huge momentum boost wherever we're at in the game. Another quick one to watch out for, PJ Adebawere. I think they're going to use him for a lot of stunts where he's going outside and he'll bring it inside and force Ewers to his left because Ewers isn't that great running to his left. So that's going to be fun. He's a crazy athlete. He'll be able to track him down with ease. Offensively, Nick Anderson, 5 touchdowns in the last, 3 games? He had 3. Yeah. 5 touchdowns in the last 3 games. They're trusting him. Redshirt, yeah. But they're trusting him a lot with some very key downs and key situations, and I think they're just going to keep using him. And I don't think Texas has anybody to guard him. He's, like we mentioned, 6'4". He's quick, and he's able to make some moves on the outside to lose the defender. So I think Nick Anderson's going to go off for another big game.
Who's next?
I'll go the easy picks. I'd say Stutzman on defense. I think he's just going to be everywhere like he always is. But an easy on offense, but I think Dylan Gabriel is going to have 400 yards passing, rushing, at least three passing touchdowns, maybe even a rushing touchdown. I think this is going to be the biggest game of his career, and it's going to go down. He's going to get a statue, and it's going to be a great day.
There you go.
Defensive, I'm going to go. I agree with Gary. I've been backing him up on this. I think Peyton Bowen's going to get an interception, and it might not even be a pick 6, but it might be at the most crucial time where he picks off Quinn Ewers, and it's to seal the game. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. Or it might just be a momentum shifting interception that gives OU the momentum to take the lead and win the game. Second, I would say Danny Stutzman. I think he's just going to continue being what he has been this year. And I think he's going to take an even more bigger of a leap to establish himself as one of the best linebackers in the country after this game against Texas. And then offensively, I'm going to go with the offensive line. I think they're going to step up this week. I think it's going to open up the running game a little bit, and it's going to help Dylan Gabriel have some more time to slow his game down and make reads. And I agree with Kellen. I think Dylan's going to have a huge game as well. And that's just going to start up front with the big boys blocking for us and opening everything up. So
I agree.
I'm excited.
The nerves of this game, man, that just, especially when it's tight in the fourth quarter, oh my goodness, it just rips through you and you're just like, oh, I mean, that's why I like these kind of games here. We knew it was over we knew it was over at halftime, but back in 2000, I didn't allow myself to know that. I kept saying, oh, you never know, they could come back, but I like these kind of games better personally, but that's just me. And then Venables, this is his time, man, to establish Oklahoma being back. And regardless, hypothetically, knock on wood, I mean, whatever happens, I still think he's building the program the right way. I think he's got some great players coming in. If we had some of those guys this year, like if they were already, even if they were freshmen on the defensive line, oh my goodness, that would be awesome for us. But we shall see. It'll be fun. I can't wait. I can't wait till about, about 4 o'clock on 3:30, 4 o'clock on Saturday. It to be over with, and hopefully I've got this big old grin on my face.
I'll go score prediction 38-30, Boomer Sooner.
34-28, Oklahoma. Saying it for weeks.
33-21, Boomer Sooner.
I was going to say 33-26 OU. It's going to come down to the last drive. Dylan Gabriel, he's going to get us in the end zone. And I think it's going to be a nice little pass, little Drake Stoops, and Drake Stoops is going to be the man, the hero again. So I love that kid. He's really good, man, really good. Well, the Fox Den would love to let you guys know we appreciate all of you listening to our podcast. This is a special one for us because we're huge Sooner fans, love the Sooners. make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Give some comments on your thoughts on the game before this game, some predictions on the score. It could go either way. You guys know this game goes in waves, and it could go either way. Doesn't matter what the records are. It'll be completely different than last year. I can promise you that. OU, I don't want to say it's revenge because it's not. It's just Texas. We want to beat them. We want to smoke them. But I don't care if we win by 1. Just as long as we beat Texas, I'll be a happy man. But for my sons Kellen and Garrett, and for Diego, I'm Todd Fox, and I just want to remind you that iron sharpens iron.
Please stay safe.
Be savage and not average.
And remember to join the Skulk.
And until next time, goodbye,
everybody.
Boomer!
Sooner.
Yeah, you're going down, Quinn Ewers.